Welcome to Capital City News, your source for staying informed and engaged with Salt Lake City government. I'm your host, Brian Young with Salt Lake City TV. For our episode this week, we spoke with Luke Allen from Salt Lake City's Public Lands Department about keeping our parks green in this dry season. For our History Minute, we talked about historic water rights. Before we get to those, why don't we take a look at our legislative update, our look back, our look ahead, and then our road construction update.
At its July 19th meeting, the City Council traveled to the Sorensen Unity Center to have a council meeting on the road, honored the Halverson family for 4 generations of service to the Salt Lake Fire Department, honored Archie Archuleta for his contributions to the city, were updated on a number of programs including the Urban Forest Action Plan, capital improvement projects, and more, among many other briefings and votes. To learn more, visit slc.gov/council.
In Salt Lake City's hot and dry climate, trees need to have supplemental watering to survive. It is the responsibility of the adjacent property owner to water trees in the park strip. Salt Lake City Urban Forestry provides a watering bag with each newly planted tree. If you need any help figuring out tree watering and other ways to help with water conservation, visit the city's website for ideas.
For our road construction update this week, we're going to take a look at 2 different projects. The first is the 800 West Neighborhood Byway, and the second is the work going on at 900 South.
Our Local Streets 2022 projects continue with 800 West from 600 South to 900 South. This neighborhood byway is being reconstructed to increase walkability and update the road. We're adding in bulbouts and crosswalks to highlight pedestrian safety. 800 West is scheduled to start in August. If you want to keep up to date on these or any road construction projects in the city, be sure to visit slc.gov/construction. 900 South between West Temple and 300 West is getting a long-awaited sewer line installed. This sewer line upgrade means we'll be able to properly service all the new growth we're seeing in the Central 9th area. While you're in Central 9th, be sure to admire the new trees in the center median. There is an epicenter of work getting done at the 900 South 300 West intersection with our crews working on extending the 9-line trail, replacing curb gutter and sidewalks, and interacting with our 300 West project, which is paving the west side of the road. We encourage you to support the businesses along 900 South and 300 West.
That's it for this week's installment of our road construction update. Remember, to keep up to date with these projects or any other going on in the city, be sure to visit slc.gov/construction. For our interview, I spoke with Luke Allen from Salt Lake City's Public Lands Department about how they're making parks usable for everyone during this drought season.
The drought is definitely taking a toll on our parks and our park assets. Many of our trees, including those that are newly planted, are struggling with the hot temperatures, and many of our lawns are turning yellow and brown due to our conservative water conservation strategies during the drought. In all of our parks, we're prioritizing 3 things with our watering. First are our park trees, second are our athletic fields, and third are our event areas. The trees, of course, provide many benefits to our community, making urban temperatures cooler, making the communities more walkable, and thousands of kids use our athletic fields every year. So we want to make sure that they have a nice, healthy lawn to play on. And tens of thousands of people attend special events every year in our parks. So we definitely want to make sure we keep those special event areas in top shape. But in all of our parks, there are other areas where not a lot of people walk on. So as much as possible, we're adjusting those irrigation systems that cover those areas to let those spots get yellow and brown. Here at West Point Park, we have multiple soccer fields and multiple baseball fields. We're watering those athletic fields enough to keep them green and playable, but West Point Park also has a lot of other common areas that don't really get used for much and don't have trees. So you'll notice that those areas we're letting get yellow and brown in order to conserve water. Over the last couple years, we've been installing smart irrigation valves in all of our parks, and within 2 more years, we'll have this system installed on 90% of our park irrigation valves. The system can communicate remotely with our central irrigation software from our public lands building. It can sense when it's raining, it can sense the moisture levels in the soil and adjust accordingly, and that will save us so much water over the years once that's fully installed. Last June, the Salt Lake City Council adopted our new Reimagine Nature Salt Lake City Public Lands Master Plan, which will guide our park investments and strategies over the next 20 years. And the top community priority in that master plan is environmental sustainability. So we'll take that into account whenever we're doing any new park construction project, and we'll ensure that any new vegetation or grass is native to the area and drought resistant. We love to hear from the public. The public are our eyes and ears in our spaces, and whenever there's a broken sprinkler head, for example, it's probably going to be a park user that sees it before our park staff. So we really appreciate it when people reach out to us with concerns like that. We also find it extremely important to care for our areas of our parks that are used the most and provide the most benefit, like our trees and our athletic fields. It's okay to have a green field so that thousands of people can play and recreate on it every year. For people who want more information about public lands water conservation strategies, feel free to reach out to us at publiclands@slcgov.com or give us a call at 801-972-7800.
Now it's time for the History Minute. Located along Utah State Route 65, Little Dell Reservoir was first proposed in the 1940s when Dr. Ray E. Marcel, a geologist consultant for the Utah Water and Power Board, recommended the project to the Salt Lake City Commission, though they took no action on the recommendation. It came up again in 1952 after heavy spring runoff inundated 400 city blocks with water, but still no action was taken. In 1960, the project was authorized by the Congressional Flood Control Act, but there seemed to be little urgency to begin construction. That all changed with the floods of 1983 and added importance to get the project done quickly. With the help of the Army Corps of Engineers in the county, construction began in 1987 and was finally complete in 1993. With budget on the project running dry, the initial facilities proposed for recreation on the reservoir were never built, but some amenities were added by 1995, allowing residents and visitors to hike and picnic near the reservoir. The water at Little Dell is a source for drinking water after treatment and sampling, so humans and their pets are not allowed in the water, nor are motorized boats. Those wishing to recreate in the reservoir itself need to bring their own clean boat without a motor. That's it for Capital City News. Remember, the best way to stay engaged is to stay informed. You can do that by following us on social media at SLCGov, subscribing to us on YouTube, or watching us on Channel 17. So, reporting in from West Point Park, I'm Brian Young.